Well, it is. We're going to call this meeting to order. Today's date is September 16th, 2024, and this is the Tell City Water Board. I do have one addition under new business, AMI Tower, Petzolazzi Street. So under new business, item C, AMI Tower, Petzolazzi Street. Are there any other additions to the agenda?
I can't spell Petzolazzi. I have none. Motion to approve.
Motion to approve made by Gerald, seconded by Mike. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed?
Aye.
All right, agenda stands approved. You have minutes from August the 19th in your packet. Are there any changes or corrections to those minutes as presented?
Motion to approve.
Motion made by Gerald, seconded by Brian. Any further discussion? All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Minutes stand approved. Comments of citizens. Are there any citizens that would like to make any comments? Come up to the microphone, state your name and address for the minutes, please. All right. We'll move on to superintendent's report. Brenton couldn't be here. It's my understanding he's working a significantly large water leak. And so he won't be here, so I will do my best to answer any questions and some of these items that's on the agenda. I believe I can handle most of them. But you do have, in Brent's absence there, you still have his superintendent's report. I'll give you all a moment, if you haven't done so already, to review that. And if you have any questions on it, like I said, I'll do my best to answer, but we also have Office Manager Janet Damon, and she might be able to answer it too, if not. Okay. If everybody's okay, I'll move on to the financial report. So, all right, we'll move on to financial report. Board, you have a copy of the financial report there. I'll give you all a moment to review it. Any questions on the financial report?
So the operating balance is $355, am I reading that right?
As of August 31st, yes.
Yes.
Is there a motion to approve the financial report?
Motion to approve.
Motion made by Larry. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Mike. Any further discussion? All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Financial report stands approved. Old business, the new service truck. I don't have much of an update on that. Connie, do you have anything?
The truck has been purchased,
Okay.
and I think Brent is driving it, and I know we have applied for the license plate for it.
Okay.
So about the new ton truck we just bought?
Yes.
Yeah, it's here.
Okay.
Yeah, the guys have been driving it.
All right.
Come from Ubilar, one we talked about with the bed. Yeah, it's here.
I wasn't at that meeting, I don't think. I think that was when I was gone, but. All right, any questions on the service truck before we move on? Item B under old business, the LCR update. I just want to let everybody know the water office did send out the notices to the property owners, 354, I think, or so. Huh?
254.
254.
254.
I said 3, I'm sorry, yeah,
That's all right.
254.
We've gotten at least probably 8 or 9 the applications back already today, over the weekend and
Good.
today. A lot of calls.
Yeah, there's a lot of people kind of wondering if it's too good to be true, kind of a thing, and is this,
Well, Larry did a good job on Facebook
yeah,
with his explanation, Larry. I want to tell you, that was a good job on that. 'Cause that-
yeah, he did great.
A lot of people that was confused.
Thank you.
Yeah, and there'll be an opportunity, and I hope all these residents, and even if you're not a resident that's part of it, you can still, told me the public, can come ask questions. And we hope they do. It'll be down at the depot. That's pretty much all I have as far as updates on that. So move down to new business. New operator trainee at the water plant. We have one retiring, and he has hired someone. I don't know if I should say who yet. I mean, is it public, Connie?
He's not gonna start till September 30th, and,
I'll wait in case he hasn't told his employer yet.
correct, yeah.
Is he working with the retiree?
Yes, he will be training under the retiree.
The retiree
He
is
is
not
his employer.
retiring till next year.
Well, yeah, I guess so, but
Oh.
you look at it that way. All right, sports complex water line. I just kind of want to, I'm going to try to explain it the best I can, and it's up to this board what they want to do. So hoping Brent would be here because he can give you more financial numbers than I can, but, because I don't have those, and he was getting those together. So try to visualize what I'm going to tell you. So 19th Street, you come into the complex off of 19th on what would be Lafayette Street. That's when you either turn left, you're going to turn right, you're going to drive down into there, and that's where you meet the parking lot and the fields. There's a 6-inch water main that runs down 19th Street in that area. We are wanting to tap into that and extend that water line from 19th down Lafayette and down into pretty much where the fields will start in the outfield area there. We have two options. We could either put in a 6-inch, match what's on 19th and come down, or we could do a 4-inch. And there's cost differences, but there's benefits in ways and ways there's not. If you do a 6-inch from the 19th Street, coming down Lafayette with a 6-inch now,
Excuse me, he told me Fulton.
I'm pretty sure that's Lafayette.
Okay, go ahead.
I think, yeah. Anyways, that road coming in, how about that? If it's, but I'm pretty sure it's Lafayette. But, so if you do a 6-inch off of the 6-inch off of 19th, you're coming down, we'll reduce that down to a 4-inch. And we'll put a fire hydrant right there at the 6 before it goes to the 4, and we'll feed the complex off the 4-inch. So it'd be a lesser minimum, because a 6-inch minimum, if they'd run it all the way, is $1,100 plus a month.
Like that.
And a 4-inch is around 6 or so-ish, maybe 5, 6 for the minimum for 4-inch. So it's
Pretty
about,
close.
huh?
Pretty close.
So it's half the cost in some ways. So that's the benefits on our side of that. It would save money by reducing to a 4. Now, from that 19th coming down, you could actually tee into that 6th in off Lafayette and loop around the outside of those fields and go up and feed 18th and 17th and create kind of a loop, increase water pressure in that area. Could do that. And I think
In the future.
in the future. That's the only benefit of bringing a 6 in from 19th down. But they could also, in the future, is that Reuben? No. What's the next one down? That's not a
Down
street
to
there.
the highway, yeah.
Well,
Fulton.
Oh,
no, Fulton's further this way.
yeah.
It's, might be Herman.
Yeah,
Would be Herman. No, Herman's your street, ain't it?
yeah.
What's the
That's
street for
far
Herman?
down.
Reuben's? It is Reuben, ain't it?
No, there's one right there by
It's not developed, but it would be Reuben.
It's Reuben.
Reuben.
Okay,
They're
so there's kind of a ditch there, and it's an undeveloped street that would have went through there, but doesn't because of elevations. They could take a 6-inch off of 19th there and go up and do 18 and 17 also in the future.
In the future?
In the future, not near future, but future. I think that's what Brent would like to do. I think it's on the list. I just don't think it's high on the list. You know, I don't know where.
Are either one of the two gonna lower the water pressure up
No,
there?
it would only increase
No.
it. It would increase it quite a bit, what Brent tells me. So we got to decide. What I'm asking the water board that they could do two things. They could just, say we don't want to contribute to this water line at all, which you don't have to really. What I was going to propose is we just do a 4-inch from the 6-inch on 19th and just make that the line for the complex altogether. And then if they want to do, increase the pressure and create that loop on 17th and 18th in the future, they would just go down the Rubens, which would be a shorter distance. Because because you got to think, if they're going to have to go from 19th to that entrance there all the way down almost the whole city block and then up and around, it may not be any cheaper than just coming off of 19th and Reuben instead.
There's no steamer hydrants or nothing in there, is there, Gerald? On the 17th and 18th?
He told me there's 2 hydrants up there a while ago, and they're not very good pressure.
that's right.
So it's kind of what
See,
you,
that's what I was thinking, that was.
Well, used to be the service road, we call it, when you drive there's a cable there on 19th,
right,
whatever that street is. I'd have to
that's the
look.
Reuben Street.
Okay, and then he could come off there and go up where Mike and Larry used to live and loop it back down to 19th Street, make a loop there. And that would give you more pressure.
That might make more sense to do your 6 off that than off your 6 off Lafayette.
I would think so.
So what I was gonna
You gotta
suggest.
run a whole block of 6-inch just to get down to go
Right,
To the, yeah.
up that hill.
right. And that's kind of where I was going with it. I mean, the only thing I was gonna suggest is if, we know we need a 4-inch for the complex. If they wanted to upgrade to a 6-inch, I was gonna ask the water department to pay the difference of what a 4 to 6 would cost coming off a 19. Does that make sense?
Well, a 4-inch is like a flush hydrant.
Yes, and that's what we're gonna have to
And
water the
that's what they
fields.
need probably to water the fields.
That's correct.
Whatever they do.
No, that's exactly right. There will be 4, actually, there'll be 5 flush valves, or hydrants, or what do you wanna call it?
Yeah.
One at each field, and then the fifth one would be at the end to flush the line up at the end, is what
Right.
Brent tells me. And then that would be used for that 5th field, if and when in the future, down there.
That's enough for sewer and everything too, and Gerald, as far as the restrooms and stuff, that's.
Oh, yeah, that'd be more than 4-inch,
4-inch.
plenty for that. That was just my suggestion there. I mean, if they wanted to upgrade to a 6, then tap into it later, the water department probably should pay the difference in that cost. And I don't know what that difference would be, but I think they would lose money running that 6-inch from Lafayette to Reuben, a whole block, before they could even get to 18 and 17. It's gonna cost them even more.
I think so too. I think it makes sense to run off 19th down to the complex,
A 4-inch,
a 4-inch.
on
And
Lafayette.
then someday go down there and come off 19th with a 6 and loop it up there on 18th and
Okay.
17th and loop it back to give you more pressure.
We're thinking alike.
But that's a lot of 6-inch pipe.
That's a lot.
Well-
That's a good ways, ain't it?
That's a long way.
Is there gonna be any like underground irrigation
No.
on any of that? None?
No.
Okay, that would save.
The only other thing I talked to Brent about we might look at doing is having 2 separate meters off that 4-inch. One that would service the concession stands and restrooms, and one that services only the fields as far as watering goes when it comes to wastewater adjustments
Good
and
idea.
figuring it. But
Yeah.
Well.
we'll figure that out at that point.
I've got another suggestion. You probably won't like it, but I've got another suggestion. Hey, you might like it. Why don't you, on your 4-inch line that you run down through here, put a T in it before the meter for the flush hydrants that you're gonna use to water the lawn? Then it wouldn't even be metered.
It's got to be metered.
Why does it have to be metered?
Water loss,
Yeah, they have.
State
to
Board of Accounts.
Account for water loss.
That's why we have to, like, that's why we do, like, yeah. I know we have to. Janet could explain that way better, because state boards come down before and.
There's reports that have to be made.
I know. I'm like you, but we won't, the good thing is we don't have to pay for the water, not for the wastewater side of it. If it's for watering only.
Yeah.
So you're still gonna tee off of it, or you're gonna have 2 meters down there?
I would like to see it that way, but Brent didn't think we needed it that way. So I'm gonna yield to what the engineers suggest on that. I mean, those expenses will come out of the sports bond complex grants and so forth, ARP funds.
For the construction, I'm talking about the operational costs though.
Once it's all done, it'll be the general fund that'll be paying the water expenses down there.
Yeah, and that's why it's best to do a 4 over 6, because 6 is more than they would need.
Yeah, I know. I understand that, but with a 6, you also can get fire protection that you don't have, so. But
Well, I thought about the fire, but I thought, well, if a dugout catches on fire, by the time the fire department gets there, there's not gonna be nothing left.
Well,
It's, it's pretty small. And
It's cost-
even on any of those things, if something had happened, I don't think it would be, you would be able to save it by the time the fire truck got there. The concession stand, if something would catch on fire,
It's all block.
it's all block and.
Except the roof.
The roof is be wood, but I don't think there'd be much of a structure left by the time the fire, it's so small, it's
Well, You could put a hose reel there. Like you go in the hospitals, you'll see the hose reel, that's 1.5 inches or 1.25 inches.
Yeah.
To coming off that 4-inch
Well,
pipe.
you'll still have a 4-inch, yeah, you'll still have a 4-inch for watering, and there's a fire of any size of people there, it probably would do the job.
And go.
Make it cool it down until the fire department got there.
Yeah. So, I really don't,
So what's your proposal?
well, if the water department wants to spend the money to upsize from a 4 to a 6, I would need a motion to allow that. But if you're not, then I really don't think I need anything.
So the sports complex will pay for the 4-inch coming in?
If it's our line only, yeah,
Okay.
and it would
Coming off
be
19th Street.
coming down Lafayette.
And a 4 inch is sufficient what the sport complex needs.
Correct. The only other crazy thing you could do,
You don't ever plan on having any additional buildings? I guess we can't build down there because it's in the floodplain.
not, yeah, you couldn't, I mean, you could build a shelter house, but I mean, not really buildings. I wouldn't build a building that, other than bathrooms and concessions, I wouldn't build anything.
It'd be nice to have some shade down there somewhere.
Well, that's part of plans, some trees and shelter houses and so forth that, I'm working on something on, I shared that with you, so we'll see how that goes. Now, the only other crazy option you could do, and I know we've got to watch our budget, you could go ahead and put a 6-inch in off Rubens, the run you're talking about. Go ahead and run that up there, and we could tee off that a 4 and run it down the other end of the complex that way. And not even run a 4-inch from down the Lafayette Drive,
Oh,
If you're running a whole block of 4-inch pipe. Where now you're gonna run it.
Well, you still might be running about the same distance, because you got to figure off night, if you tap into it, let's say around there on 18th Street-ish, and tee it down from where that road is down into the complex, is about the same distance from 19th Street where it would stop anyways, that we're paying for.
Your map in your sports complex thing in your drawer?
Do what?
You still got your picture in your drawer for the sports complex?
But it'd be a thought. But I don't think, I don't think right now the water department is financially to the point where they should probably be spending that to put that 6-inch in.
no, and I agree with you, Chris.
So that's why, I just want to throw it out there so we thought of everything was discussed that possibly should be. If they don't want to pay the upsize, then there's no motion necessary on anything, because we'll,
If we did that and it went down the hill off of, what street, 18th,
yeah.
it would not disrupt the flow of traffic into the park.
No.
And also, would that enhance the possibility of, improve the odds of getting higher?
It would up there, yes, on 17th and 18th. Which is, we got 355,000 in our account, and to do that, you're looking at
Oh,
a
so
pretty,
it's gonna be later anyway.
it could be later.
It's gonna be later. We don't need to be promising making commitments because,
Okay.
I mean, guys, we dropped, what,
Would it be
50,000, 48,000, 50,000.
50,000.
So, well, I just wanted to run that by you all in case you had a different thought. I know initially I was hoping, the water department might be able to give a little more to this, but we understand the financial strain you're on a little bit right now with some things. And to be honest, I think the water department's doing a good job when it comes to making these improvements, replacing these valves, because that leak they're out working on right now would be a lot more manageable had these valves been replaced years ago and working, and
Yes, it would.
would have saved labor, it would have saved, people don't look at the long-term cost savings, they just look at, it cost me this much now, but in the future, if there's a leak, how much it's gonna cost in water loss, labor, additional digging, and trying to just figure it out. Time is money.
But what kind of water line is down there now?
Where?
Of the sports complex?
It's a,
1 inch, 2 inch?
probably a 1-inch, maybe
It's very small.
it's a pretty
Very
small line
I'm gonna
that's
say
there
inch.
now. It's not enough to water the field very, very well, yeah, so, that's, any questions?
I'm in favor of just putting a 4-inch for now.
Yeah.
Well, you guys don't have to pay anything, so, I mean,
That would work for now, and then when we win the lottery, we can.
when we get a casino.
Well, don't even go there.
No, I get what you're saying. So thank you all for your consideration on that. We can move forward on that. Under mayor's report, I was really just going to talk about the lead copper. If anybody asks, how you paying for this, well, obviously,
You forgot your number C that you
oh,
added.
yes, sorry. I got it on the note, I didn't write this. So real quick on C, this was brought to my attention today. Like, Brent came in, I guess it was this morning, and told me. So I don't know a lot of information on it, but it's my understanding that we rent space on a tower on Petzalozzi Street, okay, to read our meters. The guy who owns it is wanting to sell that tower now. Now, the tower sits on property Tell City Water Department owns. All right, so you got our land, we own it, this tower's on it. I don't know the details between, easements and leases between that and how that works, but this guy wants to sell this tower. So we've got our stuff on it, and the county has some of their stuff on it. And I think the county handles like the generators and some of the stuff, and we may go mow it and do a few other things. I don't know who does what yet. That's why I was hoping Brent would be here.
What, start over, we own the land, but he owns the tower?
Yeah.
Okay.
And there may be some lease on that. I don't know. The guy wants to sell it. I was sort of priced. I'm not going to say because I don't know if that's public, because it's a private guy wanting to sell it, and he's not a public entity. So I guess we'll wait a little bit and see more information that comes about it. We may have to schedule a special meeting. I don't know. I don't know how towers are a thing. It's in hot demand to buy. It's rent. I have no idea.
I didn't know that.
Well, it just came to my attention, so we've got some digging to do and research, but it may come a point where
If we don't buy it, then we're gonna have to relocate our,
we potentially would, but it's on our land, so it's kind of like, I don't know. We need to pull whatever agreements or easements that were done back when it happened. It may be that I don't know. I have to look at this.
So this perplexes me how that he's got a tower on our land, the city
Yeah.
land,
It may have been a lease deal years ago, and it may have been because it has county EMS stuff.
Well-
I don't know what that, I may be, if I'm saying the wrong thing, don't.
Was that the old Cablevision tower?
Yeah,
Well, this one was moved there from somewhere else.
but it was a Cablevision.
Was
Yes,
it?
it was.
Okay.
well, maybe we can buy it and lease it to the county.
Well, we could, or they could buy it and work out a deal with that.
No, we'll lease it.
Yeah, okay, well,
Do we need to assess the condition of it before we?
and we want to look, like Mike said, we want to assess the condition of it too,
That might be why
It could be
why he
done
wants to
too.
sell it.
Yeah, so if I hear things, I'll try to send out an email if there's anything important that we need to have a special meeting
Are
either.
all of our meters read off of that tower?
No, we have 4 towers that we read our new meters on. Petzalozzi Street one is right now down. We can't get any readings from them.
So when we can't get, I'm assuming that there's areas that we can't get without that tower?
That's correct.
And then we
They
go
have
out
to go out with their
manually?
iPads.
We go out and manually read them then, or have to send somebody out?
Well, as I get more information, I'll try to communicate that with you all or Brent. One.
So we can drive up and down the street and get a reading, right, Janet?
Yeah, there's not that many.
You don't have to get out and physically open the meter
70 and
pit.
80 maybe that right now they had to go out and get last week with their iPads, and it didn't take but an hour or two. And, I mean, they pick up if they're closer to that
Right,
yeah.
iPad. But we couldn't get them right away from our area here at the office.
Okay. Well, I'll say, when I find out more, I'll let you know.
The little black box that Cable ordered should be coming in pretty soon, that they can replace that.
One of the water board members is supposed to climb up there and change it.
Yeah.
It's Philip's turn, that's why he's not here. No.
He's the littlest one.
No.
I'll fall off, Chris, so I'm not gonna.
Barb will go up there for you, send her up. All right, again, I was gonna talk about the lead copper, I just want to report, again, as people ask how we're gonna pay for this, obviously, we've got that $2.5 million grant forgivable loan, whatever you want to call it, but also to make up the difference is a no-interest loan. That doesn't happen all the time. And that's something that this board and the city should be very proud of, that we were able to get those opportunities to lessen the costs of this project drastically.
So just to clarify for me, the people that got this letter were the 254 properties that we've identified, correct?
Correct.
And the owner of the property got one? and
The owner did, and also the renter.
Also the renter, okay,
Yeah.
okay. So if they didn't get a letter, they don't need to worry about it.
Right. Right
At this time, they
At
don't
this
need to.
point,
Those were just the ones that were
the board's-
Identified.
identifiable easier than others.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And while we don't anticipate this, the resident doesn't have to allow us to do this, I don't think.
That was one of the questions.
But I don't think you're gonna see many say no.
I don't know why they wouldn't.
Well, who knows, but if they do say no, go communicate with them, find out their issues, and it probably will be a yes right after that. It's just probably more than likely a misunderstanding or think there's something else going on.
Yeah. I think the informational meetings are gonna help these people,
Yeah.
if they go down.
And Nicole's kind of
Yeah.
done her project, Nicole Dukes and the water department officer, she's done a good job getting the spreadsheets together and getting the information out. She's worked really hard. Well, it's the whole office, not just her, but
Yeah, but she did good.
y'all work together well to get it done, so. This will be a big project. We don't know the final cost on entirely. We have estimates. It'll get put out for bid,
You're in my zone.
and then we'll have an idea of what it's gonna do. So,
Any update on the closing date at this point?
okay, I just got, what did that email say?
December.
There was no comments of something or another, and it was doing,
Our closing date's December 16th, I think.
it's for the, yes.
It's before the end of the year. It's about the middle of December will be the, oh God, we got so many projects going on right now, but I think, yes.
I'm trying to read the one in my head, what it said.
Yes.
Because it was like, no comments have been made, da-da-da-da-da, and it went on and, oh well.
Yeah, it's December's.
We'll let you know.
I know we were trying to get it done before the end of
Has
the
to be.
year.
Yes, and I think it's the middle of December when the closing is, and the mayor and I have a video one or something before that to answer questions and things in December, so.
Well, if there's nothing else to come for the water board, I'll entertain a motion to adjourn.
Motion to adjourn.
Motion made by Larry, seconded by Brian. All those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed?